I get it. You operate a business in the horse industry and you know you need to be online to grow your business, but you're overwhelmed at the process and you might not even have an idea where to start. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're listening to the Digital Hoofprint podcast, a podcast that shares strategy, resources, and motivation for you to grow your horse business online. My name is Abriana, and I am a business coach, brand strategist, and designer that works with equine entrepreneurs who are struggling with their online presence. I transform grade horse businesses into industry unicorns. And if you're listening to this podcast, you must be ready to establish your digital hoofprint. Whether you're listening to this while cleaning stalls or after a long day working horses, I'm breaking down this process into digestible nuggets so you can take them and apply them to your business today. Thanks so much for listening again, and let's get into today's episode. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the Digital Hoofprint podcast. I am your host, Abriana, and I am the head unicorn in charge over at Black Unicorn Creative. And I have brought my dear friend, Brittney Chambers of CBC Therapeutic Horseback Riding Academy out of Sacramento, California, onto the podcast today to talk about her business, her life work balance, and how she's managing all of the things. So welcome to this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
All right, girl, let's start from the top. Where did you even begin with your lesson program? What is it that you're doing? And kind of paint the picture for people who may not know who you are.
Okay, so I am the owner of CBC Therapeutic Horseback Riding Academy, LLC. We are a fairly large lesson program. We offer horseback riding lessons, horsemanship classes, online courses. You know, we have a full team of 3 instructors, a full-time administrator and coordinator. On the side, I also do train horses. I have a lesson program consulting, I don't want to say business, but thing going on where I'm a lesson program consultant for other lesson programs. I'm gonna do consult calls. So it is a lot going on over here.
Yes. And when do you, okay, so tell us kind of where you first started, how you first started, and like the timeline of growth, just so people won't think like, oh my gosh, she just got here, she lucky, she did it. Like, no, it's not luck. Okay.
Well, I graduated high school back in 2008, and so that's kind of where it all started. When I was like, I want to do something in horses, and so I went off to college. You know, got educated in the mental health field while I was in college, and I moved back to California in 2012. And I was still had my horse dream there, but I knew I had to get the mental health background of it. So 2014, I graduated with my master's and I was working, I was a teacher. And then in 2015, I got certified as a therapeutic riding instructor with Path International, and I officially opened CBC. And at the time I opened CBC, I was actually working for another program and had a full-time job. So I would work my full-time job Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and then I would give lessons 5:30 to 7:30, and then I would go work at the other program every other weekend. So I had 3 jobs that I was working, and it was absolutely nuts. And so I was working 3 jobs probably until 2000, late 2017, I want to say, maybe early 2018. I was like, okay, I just can't do it all anymore because obviously I was working 7 days a week. So then December 1st, 2015, yeah, open CBC. And then 2019, November 2019, I left corporate America and I went full-time CBC. So at that time I was rocking and rolling with like 35 students. If you listen to a very old podcast episode we did, I was like, yeah, I got 35 students.
Yeah, I
And
was about to say, like, that was around the time that we did.
it
I
was,
had no idea that it was in that close proximity.
I think it was probably like the same month, even like it was right there. And let's fast forward to 2021, almost 2022. We are at over 100 students, have multiple programs inside the academy. We have about 8 community contracts. I have 2 other instructors that work with me. I'm not teaching as much, but I do still teach. And we have a full-time coordinator. And I have, working that I still work 6 days a week, but it's a different type of work. I'm not, having lessons from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day. I'm still out there at the barn, but things have definitely changed now, that we've grown and I have a team of support. So it definitely didn't happen overnight, you guys, but it did. It happens quick. It happens in spurts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so how did your priorities kind of change throughout this growth that you had, because at first I'm sure it was like, I just got to get students, I just got to get students. But then you mentioned community contracts, and I feel like that might be something that a lot of people don't even know about, don't even know like what that means. And then, now you have these multiple programs running, so
Well,
how
when
does
it comes
that, yeah, go
well,
ahead.
when you're dealing with like just individuals, it's kind of like, hey, email or text, which thing our systems have totally changed. I'm not texting parents anymore. Like it's a whole system communication process that we have to go through because we're dealing with so many. We have, I think, like 75 parents on our email list for all academies. So it's still a lot. And as things have grown, I just couldn't handle everything. I couldn't handle doing all of the barn chores. Well, I did when I had 2 horses, but I can't do that with 5 horses. I can't handle all of the applications that come in. When it comes to community contracts, you have to have specialized insurance per contract, specialized invoicing, specialized processes. Like each contract is literally different. So you have to make sure you meet the standards of each contract. And as time went on, I had to realize that I have to more so get out of all the day-to-day boots on the ground in the business. And I had to start managing things. I had to make sure this was good and that was good, or put this fire out, put that fire out, make sure my horses are okay. All like, for example, this past week, we just had 30 new students start, all within a 4-day period. So it's like, okay, I got to meet the parents, got to make sure the paperwork's done and everything. So as time went on and I had a team built up underneath me, I was able to focus on all of the other aspects that actually have to keep the business going. And it's nonstop, but it helps.
Yeah. Knowing when you need that help and, implementing the systems necessary to support that kind of larger communication, keeping track of things, trying to make things go as smoothly as possible. That's key. That is, one of my favorite things to do and to talk about. But when it comes to establishing some of those boundaries, I know a lot of people, I see because I be watching like the forums and the groups, and they're like, oh my gosh, how do you get people to stop texting you at 10 p.m.? And it's like, you
The
say,
answer for that be me.
yeah, like don't answer. Don't answer. Tell them, no, this is not what's gonna happen.
Well, you
And
have
then
to stop making yourself, and you have to stop making yourself so accessible.
Yeah.
If, like for us, if you need to get in contact with us, you email and my coordinator will be in contact with you Monday through Friday. And if it's an emergency, I will check the email inbox on the weekends and I will respond only if it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, you don't have, and there is an emergency separate business number that you text if only on same day cancellations,
Mm.
and you won't get a response.
Yeah, it's just a
You
heads
did,
up.
you just send that, the staff will get it. You don't know who you're talking to, so you can't say, hey, you just say, hi, this is the parent of this student, they will be out. Boom. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I've been there. I've been through all the texting, all everything. Nope. How to redirect everybody to a new place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And talk about that a little bit. Talk about, because that's what a lot of people fear, pissing people off. I'm gonna lose clients. I'm gonna lose income. I'm gonna lose, lose. Talk about how much did that happen to you and what did you gain from that?
The reason why it didn't happen is because I treated my clients right from the beginning. So they have no reason to leave. My new clients, I mean, like all of my old clients, I call them my OG clients, they know, I mean, we are so solid, we don't have to talk. We talk during the lesson. We talk when I see you every week, and they know the only reason you should text me is if it's a cancellation. If it's something else, you only text me if it's something that has to deal with a contract or something like that, that's okay, but they're not texting me in the middle of the night. So if you treat your clients right the first time, they're going to go with it. Email my coordinator. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they know, and it's like, and most of them don't even have my number anymore. Sometimes, they really respect that I'm busy. And for all of the new people that come on, you only get an email, and the application, everything is responded with email. And so they know, email the coordinator, email the coordinator. And if your clients don't like the new rules, that they don't have access to you 24/7, they aren't paying you 24/7. They're paying you for 1 hour of their time. Okay, 1 hour of your time is what they're paying for, not 24-hour access. And honestly, it's a horseback riding lesson. It's different if you're a horse trainer and you're taking care of someone's horse. That might be a little different. But if I only see you for 1 hour, no, it could wait till the next riding lesson. Only time you should text me is if you're going to be canceled. Otherwise, send an email and my coordinator will get back to you. If you don't have a coordinator, have a specific email and then you'll get back to them. On your website, email responded to between that structure, so they know, okay, I'm going to respond between these times. So I tell my people, my coordinator will respond to you within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Boom. That's it. Every other place does it. All the other big companies do it. We'll get back to you within 48 hours.
Right. And so do you feel like you lost any income or clients or anything when you started like having that communication and putting those boundaries in place?
Out of 100 people, probably like 3 left.
Were
Because
those, I was just going to ask, were they problems in the first place?
Yep. Because they didn't want to take 5 minutes to book their lessons for 2 months. It takes 5 minutes to reserve your spot for 2 months. Every single month, we send out an email. Hey, get your bookings in. Get your bookings in. Just a reminder, we have people booked through December, and it's fine. So, you know what? Okay, then you must not want. And the funny part is some threw a huge fit, wrote these big, long, nasty emails, and I didn't do it, but I really wanted to say, like, you could have just booked your lessons the whole time it took you to respond to this email. Most parents book their lessons at their kids' lessons. They sit there on their phone and then they're like, okay, we're done booking. Boom, you're done for the year. So that's what it is. You have to book. I'm not going to be chasing you. I don't have time to chase you. If you want to be here, you'll spend 5 minutes to keep your kids here.
Yeah. And I think it's important because, a lot of people are sensitive around that. Like, I'm I'm gonna miss out on this client, but chances are that client was already difficult in the first place, and you were already having some anxiety around that situation. So establishing those boundaries, if that weeds out the weak, that brings in the opportunity to have clients that are okay with your boundaries and embrace them. Like, great. A lot of people don't want to talk on the phone and be texting you and chasing you down to try to schedule something. They're sitting in their bed and they're like, let me go ahead and get her situated, get little Sarah, little Billy situated. And be done without talking to somebody, so having those
and parents don't have my personal cell phone number. There's a separate number that they can text, and I choose to check it when I want to check it. If not, you can send it to the email. It's I mean, if one of my instructors texts me when they're giving lessons and I'm not there, okay, I'm definitely going to check that. But other than that, nope, there's no rush.
Yeah, for sure. So how have, I know you've been in a corporate position, and even in your corporate position, you had multiple jobs, and, we're doing all the crazy things. How has it, changing to a profession that is strictly like horse related? How do you feel like the balance has kind of shifted, or does balance look a little bit different when you're kind of going from a corporate position to a business in the horse industry?
Balance meaning like time, or just
between life and work, between things you enjoy.
In the beginning it was hard because I had bills. We all have bills to pay. I'm working day and night doing what I have to do, like it's there are going to be days that you're working 24 hours a day. Like, you're not sleeping, you're waking up, grabbing your notebook, trying to figure it out, so in the beginning stages, yes. Just until earlier this year, I was working 6 days a week, from about technically like 6 a.m. to 3 p.m, 6 days a week, and that, and in 2019, I didn't have any breaks. I was going to burn out my first year of being an entrepreneur. Like, I was like, I can't do this 6 days a week. There's like no end in sight. So one of my favorite changes I made to my schedule was going to the 8-week cycles. And on the weekends, we don't teach after 12 p.m. noon. And on the weekdays, we kind of see, but we really balance it. So I just set very strict boundaries. I gave myself time. Like, now that the business is flowing, because if people wanted to, I could be there till 6 o'clock at night. But I'm not going to help others if I can't take care of myself. So I know on the weekends, every once in a while, we'll stay till 1 or 2 o'clock, if we have a special event. But every 8 weeks, we take 1 week off. The academy just sets back. We refresh. Like, this is a super, super busy session that we have. So, it's definitely different. Like, when you have a job, you have paid vacation. And so, it's still nice, but you're kind of just working all the time. So when I left, I was working more, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, nope, I get home by a certain time still. Every 8 weeks, I get my 1 week off. If there's 5 weekends in a month, we take a weekend off. And so I kind of set that up for myself and my staff so that we all don't burn out and we could still enjoy our lives and, keep our mental happy and know that, okay, we're not going to be worked to death.
Right. I think that is a major, expectation in this industry, that like, you're gonna just be dogged tired all the time. Like, expect to not enjoy what you're doing. Expect to, have to be up all hours of the morning and not have any boundaries, because horses ain't got no horses have boundaries, but like, they don't care. They're like, we still need to eat, sis. Like,
right.
So get to work, so I love that, you had to go through it. You wouldn't have seen the growth and the expansion of your team if you didn't go through it, because you hustled and you got those clients. But you recognized when you had to step back so that you can make sure the operations are running smoothly. You can take care of those clients and continue to nurture those relationships so you can continue to have them. And, just making sure things are operating like they're supposed to. So I think it's really, really important to notice, like, there's going to be different seasons, and, acknowledging where you are and the fact that, you might be here now, but seasons change, whether you like it or not.
As a professional in the horse industry, we are always looking for ways to improve our craft. As a business owner, it's our goal to build a business that supports our dream lifestyle. That's why I developed the Equipreneur Planner. This planner is a snapshot of your business, from your offers to your online marketing. Whether you're looking to stand out in an oversaturated market or you need to audit your current business operations, this planner has the resources to guide you in that process. After spending an entire year developing this signature planning system, I've made it available to equine entrepreneurs just like you. Give yourself permission to change your life. Go to www.blackunicorncreative.com/planner to sign up for the waitlist.
And I mean, like, for example, right now, I'm not at the barn as much as I need to be. I go check in and then I'm like, okay, I might give maybe 2 lessons a day, even though we're still super, super busy. I'm like, okay, then I got to go home, or I have to go do this, or I have to, record something, teach, do some, I have so much to manage between everything. I was like, okay, now I'm taking a step back. As much as I love it, so sometimes I'll try to work at the barn, but that doesn't really work out all the time because I get distracted.
Yeah. I feel you. So talk about a little bit the opportunities that this taking a step back and managing your team, managing your operations, being a true CEO, what other opportunities has that opened up for you?
Oh, so many. If I didn't have the team that I had to bring them on, I wouldn't have started this whole lesson program consulting thing. It started out as just calls, and now I'm going to be doing online courses. I'm going to be traveling somewhere soon, to go do a project. So now that I know the academy can run itself without me being there, I can go do other things to help other people, because I'm not sitting there mucking stalls all day, tacking up horses. Even though I love it, I don't mind it. Just having a team around me, I definitely had to learn that no, it's okay to have help, and it's okay to have a team, and it's okay to hand over the reins. Because just recently I had to take a month off from everything, and the academy ran so smoothly. I was like, oh, okay, well, I was out for a month and everything was great.
Right. So I'm not.
And so that, and honestly, without me having to take that month off, like, that really set me up for the next steps for what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have left. So I had to leave in order to look and be like, oh, okay. And then while I was at home, I was managing everything. I was getting all the contracts done. And honestly, with me being out, I feel like we're being more successful because I can add more value to the program. I'm over here now that I'm not in it. I'm out here snatching up every opportunity that we can get, coordinating everything and putting it back into the program. So I'm out there catching food for my program versus trying to cook it.
Yes, so. that is a gem right there. Getting out of your own way. Like, so okay, let me, because I got excited. Let's reel back. Our businesses aren't us, right? Like, and clearly taking that month off reassured that, like, your business is not you. You've created
Mhm.
this thing and you've created the support system. It will
Mhm.
operate without you. So what do you do now that that is the case? And you can
Mhm.
bring new opportunities. You can,
Mhm.
attract new clients. You can
Yep.
start new ventures that maybe that's what you wanted to do personally. Because I know way back in
Mhm.
the day, whatever that year was, 2019, where we did our
Yeah.
podcast episode, and I was like, Brittney wants to train, she wants to travel and train horses. Well, how is Brittney going to do that with her own lesson program? We don't know. Here we are
Right.
2 years later, and the answer is she found a
Right.
team, she set up systems and operations, and now she's looking for opportunities to not only grow CBC into its own barn with all these
Mhm.
daggone stalls and critters and gerbils and cats and soon to be chickens. She's
Yep.
able to start this lesson program consulting
Mhm.
and build up not only the industry authority of CBC, but also you as a trainer, as a professional, as
Mhm.
a lesson program instructor, all of those things.
Right.
So
Right.
round of applause, because I love that. I mean, that is just a clear picture of what this can look like for so many people who really have to get out of their own way. And sometimes if you don't do it, your body or your circumstances will do it for you.
Yep. And you have to do it at the right time,
Mhm.
because all of this in March of 2021, I got oh, I hired 3 staff members, got 3 new horses, and something else. I got 3 new staff members, 3 new horses, and all within 3 weeks, because it was right there. And if I would have backed out and said, "Oh, I'm just gonna do," no, I wouldn't be where we are today. And now we're rolling. And now I'm interviewing a third or a fourth instructor tomorrow. I don't know, fourth including me, but and I'm interviewing another instructor tomorrow,
Mhm.
and I'm slowly looking at other horses. So I'm like, okay, I got 30 people on the wait list. So now I'm like, okay, if I could get this person in on a Saturday, I could probably bring in like 10 or 15, 10, maybe 10 new clients.
Yeah.
But you have to grow when the chance is there. Boy, March was a hard month because I had to start training new horses and training new staff. It was stressful. You're gonna be stressed. Growth in entrepreneurship is hard. It's scary because you're so used to holding your baby and making all the decisions and everything has to be right. But if you find the right team like I did, not to mention I did have to fire 2 people. I didn't find the right team right away.
Right. That is good.
The first 2 people I hired, I had to fire. So, like, it wasn't, and I had horses that I had to send back. The whole team, things didn't work out. But now I have a solid team that I can roll with, and I
Mhm.
know they got my back. And now we're rolling. So it's not all sparkles and rainbows. It's not,
Yeah.
but some days it is.
Yeah.
And you just got to take the good with the bad. And I promise the good outweigh the bad every single time, because even still to this day, I'll think about like today, for example, today's Friday. If I was a teacher, what would I be doing? And I'm like, I'm glad I'm chilling at home,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes. Yes. Able to talk to me for some
Hmm.
hours.
Yeah.
That is too funny. Yeah, I feel that. That's absolutely amazing. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to watch this growth, because it's like, people say like, oh, people say that all the time, or, I've heard this, but I've never seen anybody do it. And, being able to see that testimony is like, you can't tell me that's not right, because Brittney over here, like, going to get ice cream on Friday, and she got 100 students. Like, you can't tell me that's not right.
Right.
um, My next question is, when you feel like things are imbalanced or misaligned, or you are just in need of that support system, where do you go? What, do you have certain activities that you do? Are there people that you kind of placed in your life? What does that support look like for you?
Um, well, my sister is another instructor. She is the first C in CBC.
Mhm,
And so if something is just off, we talk. It's like, okay, sister, let's just take a step back. And sometimes, if it's not her, it's just me. I really just take a step back and I have to think of the long-term picture. Is this going to benefit us as a program?
mhm,
Is this really going to help? So like if people come to us, I've turned down contracts also. So if people come to us and like, hey, we want to do a contract with you, and I'm like, probably not,
mhm,
So thankfully, we've had enough bad days and fail forwards to
mhm.
where now we're like, oh, we got a pretty good handle on how to avoid problems.
Right.
So not every client is a good fit for us.
Mhm,
And we know that. So
mhm.
we're not going to let you in. If it's like, hey, we're probably not a good fit for you. So thankfully we don't have as many of that. But when we are, I do talk to my sister who's the barn manager there, and the lead instructor. So if
Mhm,
I check in, say, hey, how's this person going? And we just take a step back and reevaluate everything. If
mhm.
we're having trouble with this person, okay, let's go to the policy and procedures. How are they aligning with that? And we just try to make everything match up that we can, because we are very strict on our policies and procedures. We have way too many people to not have our ducks in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
So
thank
it's more so we're super proactive
Mhm.
versus reactive. And it's please people don't run your business on a reactive lifestyle.
Yeah,
Please live it on a proactive.
yeah, yeah, because you're always gonna feel like you're behind. You're always gonna be
Mhm.
one step behind and hating it
Mhm.
because you knew that possibly was gonna happen, but you
Yep.
didn't do anything about it.
Yep.
So, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, my last question is, what does, or maybe moving forward, what does life work balance mean to you?
Life work balance means simply have a balance. I finally found mine. It took me a while. I worked to death for like 10, 11 years straight, and it was crazy. But find things that make you happy so you don't burn out.
Mhm,
Set a schedule for yourself. For me, every 8 weeks, I give myself a week off, and
mhm,
it is absolutely lovely. I was able to, determine my budget. Like, hey, okay, I won't really be, and it made my process so much easier. Every if there's 5 weekends in a month, we get a weekend off. So find that balance of where you can give yourself a break and just make it a rule. Hey, this is
mhm,
what it is, and people are going to accept it. You
mhm.
know, um, don't answer those calls. It's okay. You don't need a parent texting you. They could talk to you in person at a lesson. They can send you an email.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself so accessible. And that was my problem. I used to be way too accessible and it would burn me out. So I'll talk to you when I talk to you. And, if it's an emergency, then I'll respond. But if it's not, it can wait. So really just try to find the balance to where you stay happy. And
Mm,
I will tell you, like, when it comes to week 6 and week 7, approaching our 8th week, we can feel it. We're like,
yeah.
okay, now we're at the end of a session. Oh, we're a bit tired,
Mm,
but we know that. And then we know we're going to get a week off. And then we come back, we're super refreshed, super excited to meet our new students. So,
mhm.
and that's one thing, it's like I like to make sure my staff are taken care of. Um, so just find your balance to where you're always happy. You're going to be tired. Yes. You're
Yeah.
going to be tired. Yes. Some sessions are really rough. Like, this is a really busy session for us, but we already did 2 weeks. So I'm like, hey, we only got 6 weeks left.
Yeah.
And then we got a break and then it's the holidays.
Yeah.
So find a balance. Just, okay, if you're tired, find things you can cut out of your schedule. Can that email wait? Can that task wait till tomorrow? Buy the planner, buy the Equipreneur planner.
Yes, shameless plug.
Plan it. I mean, because that's what I can't wait for mine, because honestly, I write different tasks on different days. I'll do this task on this day. I'll do this task on that day. So I know when I get my planner, I'm gonna do the same thing. Use a planner. It helps, so that way you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah. Since I'm a just shameless plug on that, since we are on that topic. In the monthly layout, there's setting personal and business priorities, but there's also a list of things you will not do. Come up with a list of things that you're not going to do this month. It can be actual tasks related to your business. It could be, things that go through your mind. Like last month on my no can do list was self-sabotage. Like, girl, do not stop yourself from making things happen just because you are like feeling nervous. Like, don't do that. And then there's also reminders on here, and every single month, the very first reminder is plan off and self-care days, because instead of, trying to, prioritize this list, the schedule that you have, you need to just schedule your priorities. Like, if this is important for you, schedule it, and then fit everything else in there. And that's how you just maintain this semblance of making sure that you can make the right decisions. A lot of times when we're so burnt out and stressed and anxiety ridden, and someone's like, tell us an answer right now, you may find that you've made the wrong decision out of desperation, out of exhaustion, out of, I didn't think this through clearly. I didn't think of the long run. So that is why it's important. We're not like saying self-care just so you can go get a massage and like spend money on, random things. Like, no, self-care looks like, if you don't want to get out the bed, don't get out the bed. If you want to order Uber Eats and have them deliver food because you normally cook for your family every single day, that is self-care. Planning that stuff in, saying, I am not cooking this day because I'm gonna sit down because
I write my TV shows. I'm watching my TV show that comes out on this night. I literally, because it's an hour. I put my phone away and I watch my TV show for 1 hour.
Yeah. And it seems simple. That's the thing. It seems so simple. But you do have to get kind of in the mindset that like, you deserve this. Like, this is, there is no conversation that you have to work to deserve this. This is an inherent thing that we deserve, to rest so that we can do these other things. So that's, one of the things that I enjoy about this planner, because those things are put forefront, because they are important. And I know it's hard to do them as people in the horse industry. Horses always needing something, people always needing something. So the more we talk about it and the more that we just make it normal, this kind of hustle and grind, you will have seasons of that, but then you'll have seasons of not that. And what does that look like for people? So, yeah. All right, Brittney girl, tell the people where they can find you and connect with you, book lesson program consults, all those things.
So you can find me on Instagram at Brittney C Horsemanship. That's BRITTNEYC Horsemanship. I am on Facebook. I have a group on Facebook called Building Your Dream Equine Lesson Program. That's the name of it, Building Your Dream Equine Lesson Program. Feel free to come join us over in the group. We have a lot of great content there. My website is in the bio of my Instagram, BrittneyCHorsemanship.com. So you can book a consult there. You can send me a DM on Instagram. There's a couple places you can reach me. So whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Instagram, come find my Facebook group, come follow me on Instagram. You could shoot me a DM there or email me through my website.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Digital Hoofprint podcast. I can't wait.
Thanks for having me.
Your journey with everybody.
Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed putting it together. Don't forget, subscribe to this podcast as well as leave a review and let us know how this episode has helped you in your horse business. Don't forget to connect with us over on social media, Facebook or Instagram at Black Unicorn Creative. See you guys on the next episode.